I am so excited to share with you our fall home tour today. If you're new here, I'm Cami, creator of the blog and YouTube channel Tidbits and Company and the Keeper of the Home podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I really hope to leave you with a lot of fall inspiration and get you motivated to just spruce up your home for the season, and really love doing that. So my plan is to walk you through a few spaces in our home, but I also really want to inspire you to decorate for free or very inexpensively for fall. I think the outdoors is so abundant with beauty this time of year, and we really don't need to spend a ton of money or store a bunch of fall decor bins in our attic or basement to create a really beautiful, cozy, and inviting home for this season. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've been clipping and pulling out and using around my home to just give it that cozy vibe. I did end up buying a couple of throw blankets, and I think that's about it. So I really hope that this motivates you and inspires you. And I also have a little extra motivation to get my home super cozy this year. In a week actually, or it'll be already past by the time this video goes out, but I am hosting a retreat at my home with some of my blogger and YouTuber friends. If you've been with me for a while, you know that we like to try to get together every year. And this year I have some of my YouTuber friends coming to my house, so I get to be the host. And so I've really been mindful about just creating a very cozy atmosphere. So I'm way excited to have them come, and it's just been a lot of fun to think about maybe more than just my family enjoying this decor. So anyway, I hope that you enjoy it as well as I take you through each space and share these ideas with you. So because I was trying to do a lot of this free based on what I already had or what I could find outside, it did take a little prep work before I could actually get started. So let me actually share with you some of the things that I found out in nature to use in my home. Here's my foraging loot for my fall decor. We have a ton of elderberry bushes in our area, and I've never tried this, but I want to see if these will dry this pretty light and dark purple. Oh, they're just so pretty. Or what's gonna happen if I put them in water. So I'm gonna try to hang some upside down and dry them and see what they look like, and then keep some fresh in water, see if we can preserve this beautiful color. But I love those. I also want to go harvest and try to make my own syrup this year, but we'll see what I get to. 3 different kinds of beautiful brown weeds growing around. Love these. Wish I knew what they were exactly, but just different styles of dead weeds, basically, but they will look so pretty. These are another variety of elderberry bushes that are not edible, that I picked from the side of the road. They're really pretty. I love the green, and then the kind of mauve that they're changing into is super pretty. And then this is just another red leaf tree that I thought was pretty. So we'll see how I can put these together for my fall decor. Now we also planted some heirloom pumpkins in our garden this year, and just some of your standard orange pumpkins, and I was so excited to see these grow in the garden. We've never successfully grown heirloom pumpkins, and I don't know what it is, but it was just so exciting to see each one come out and the beautiful, unique look. I love heirloom pumpkins, and they can sometimes be pricey, so it was well worth the garden space to just grow these and enjoy them this time of year. Of course, we have a ton of orange pumpkins as well, because we actually can them and then use them as pumpkin puree throughout the year. So we did a lot of those as well, but for right now, we're just enjoying them as decor until we're ready to can them. I also pulled out a ton of our pillow covers that I've stocked through the years and throw blankets, and kind of laid them all out and tried to decide what kind of color scheme I wanted to go with and what kind of covers I wanted to pull out and place throughout the house, in the living room and the porch. So it took some time to just kind of gather everything that we had. And I don't necessarily have like a fall bin or specific fall colors, but I do have just some more like neutrally orange rust colors and some sage greens, and I think those look great with just some neutral pillows to mix in. So it was fun to kind of lay all that out and think about what I wanted to bring in the home. The other bit of prep work that I really wanted to do was a deep clean. And of course I want to clean for my friends that are coming. Summer's gone, and honestly summer kind of is rough in the house with kids going in and out so much. But I actually like to deep clean in the fall anyway. A lot of people do their really deep cleaning in the spring. I've always preferred it during the fall. I kind of get that nesting vibe naturally with nature just doing what it does and inviting us to make our homes cozy and clean. But I just feel like the seasons that are coming that just cause us to be inside more, I really want to scrub it down, get it clean so that I can just kind of rest and enjoy that and not see the dust on the baseboards and all that. So I did a really deep clean, and one of the things I love to do just about every season is take off all the slip covers from our furniture that has slip covers, wash them, and get them really clean and looking new. Now, I've talked a lot about our 6-penny furniture. There are pros and cons to it, but I absolutely do love the linen slip covers, because when you take them off and get them washed and then put them back on, the furniture looks brand new. It's just amazing. So they have really held up really well, besides the few spots that the dog has bit and left holes. That's kind of sad, but anyway, I won't go too much into that. But I love getting these cleaned and refreshed. And here's a little tip for you. If you have slip covers, I just throw them in the washer, not too heavy of a load, definitely split it up. But then I don't dry them. I actually put them on wet, and that way there's no wrinkles, especially if you have linen slip covers. You just put them on wet and then they dry really crisp and straight and fit on better. So that's what I like to do, and it seems to work really great. Okay, and with all the cleaning done, it was time to spruce the house. So let me first share with you the living room space. So in the living room, I was really drawn to pulling out those kind of rusty oranges and sage greens, backed with some of the creamy whites and browns, and I think it pulled together really well. I always feel like the linens in the space is the first thing I set, and then I kind of work around that. So you can see all these beautiful linens that I've had and have just pulled out to enjoy again. I think it came together really nicely. I think that's what's fun about having more of a neutral home and neutral walls. You can kind of pull out different colors every season, and it just works because you kind of have this blank canvas. So I really had fun pulling in those oranges and greens for this space. And then if you watched my antique hauls lately, I've been trying to collect a lot of baskets to place here and there. I finally put a basket in our living room for some of the books that I like to rotate for us kids, or if we just want to sit down and plop down and read a book, it's there inviting us to pick up a book and read together. I've also been collecting some baskets for this like console antique furniture piece that I love so much that we put in our living room here. These baskets are going to be great for when kids leave stuff around. I can just throw them in the basket and tell them to clean up their basket later, and then it kind of prevents everyone from just setting whatever on this furniture piece. So that's worked really great. On the coffee table, I just put one of our beautiful sage green heirloom pumpkins there. I love it with these wheat clippings that I picked outside. I kind of mixed all 3 of the varieties that I found outside and put them in this one crock. Love how that looks. And then since my friends that are coming are all home enthusiasts and love to decorate, I actually found some of my favorite home decor books and just put them on the coffee table. Hopefully as we're sitting and chatting, they'll have something to pick up and read should they want to. So I've kind of placed those around the house, whereas otherwise I might have put more books there that would have appealed to my kids. Right now I'm just trying to make our home inviting for what's happening next week. So I think that little group of 3s on the round coffee table works pretty good, and I love the color scheme. Other than that, not a whole lot changed in this space, just some branch clippings and baskets, and I just kept my brass swans on the mantle because I thought they worked great for the fall season as well. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed just seeing this living room space and seeing what I did to just cozy up this space where we love to all just sit and relax. on to the kitchen, and I'll share with you some of the fall touches that I've added there. Now, if I'm being honest, our kitchen is extremely busy during the fall season. We're doing a lot of food preservation. In fact, as I speak, my daughter's over there taking grapes off the stem so that we can make some grape juice. So the kitchen is just so busy, and I really do not want to clutter it with a lot of decor pieces because we need just so much functioning space. So I didn't do a whole lot in here, but just enough to make it feel a little on season. But truthfully, what I think is fun is like the kitchen doesn't really need decor to feel like fall with all of the applesauce that I've been making and freeze-dried apples that my husband's been doing. And then of course peach season was on, so we went and got quite a few bushels of peaches and have been freeze-drying them, canning them, and doing whatever we can to preserve beautiful peaches that we love to have year-round. All that kind of stuff just gives our home a natural fall vibe in the kitchen and makes it smell so good, and I really don't have to do a lot to make it just feel super warm and inviting and ready to be baked in. Now, after a good clean, one of the biggest things I needed to do was kind of restock some of our baking supplies and spices and things like that. I actually like to stock some of our most commonly used baking supplies right in our little windowsills in the kitchen in these beautiful jars. And by the way, I should mention any links and resources, I will leave a link for you in the description where you can click over to my blog to get all the links to the resources I talk about and show you here. But anyway, so I love to have like the cinnamon, the baking soda, baking powder, cocoa powder, all the things that we often use to bake just right on the windowsills. It makes it super fun, quick and easy to just throw together some pumpkin bread or whatever we're feeling like. So I needed to restock those jars, and that kind of act alone made it already feel like it was ready for fall. I was clean out of my pumpkin pie spice, so I pulled up my recipe on my blog, which you can also find, and blended together the spices that I need. We actually go through a lot of pumpkin pie spice during this time of year, so it was good to make a big batch again. A lot of the spices that we just keep in these smaller containers, I buy in bulk and then just keep in my herb cabinet, and then I can easily restock them when we run out. Sometimes I have like random containers that we may have bought and I just need to combine them into one, get rid of the random containers. So that was a lot of my work in the kitchen to get it ready for fall. I also keep a ton of like the spices that I use for cooking, like thyme, oregano, cumin, turmeric, and all those spices that I frequently use while I'm cooking at the oven. We have these little windows in our kitchen alcove where the stove is, and I keep a lot of spices there, and they were desperately in need of being restocked, so I went ahead and did that, and it feels so good to have those all ready to be used. Something else that I did was I swapped out my little essential oil bowl where I keep the essential oils that I like to diffuse in the kitchen, just right at hand. Now I had a lot of like the summer scents, like the citruses and cleaner smells that I had been using for the summer, so I went ahead and swapped those out for more of the fall scents like cinnamon and clove and nutmeg and some of the woodsy ones. So anyway, I love kind of swapping those out in the seasons, and then that's how I like to bring in the smells of the season in a more natural and healthy way, so I love doing that. But now let me show you some of the very subtle decor touches that I did in the kitchen. I wanted a centerpiece that was low and that we could still carry on great conversation, so I got out the wooden bowl that I have and used some of the elderberry clippings that I had, and then just tucked in some of the white pumpkins. It's actually drying really pretty. What I maybe wished I would have done was hang the elderberry branches upside down first to dry and then tuck them in here. So I may go grab more and do that, but still it looks really, really pretty. I just love those elderberry berries. And here's an idea for some really useful fall decor. So I went out to my herb garden and just clipped a whole bunch of bundles of like sage and parsley and basil and thyme and stevia and everything that I had in my herb garden, and I hung them in bunches on the baker's rack, and that way I can just go and grab them quickly when I'm cooking and want to throw some of that in. And they can also hang there to dry for me to store for later use. And to top it off, it looks really, really pretty. So if you have any spot where you can kind of hang some dried herbs, I feel like that is just so symbolic of fall and so beautiful and smells great too. Now, I did find a couple of really cool things at the antique store that I couldn't pass up. This apple shaped cutting board, I love it. It may be a pumpkin, I don't know, but it just looks great for fall and it's super fun to use. And I just keep it propped up in the kitchen. I also found that like glass pumpkin cookie jar, that's what my kids call it. They loved it when I filled it with cookies, but right now it's just got some almonds in it, hopefully encouraging a little more of a healthy snack. And then of course I love to pull out some of the more fall colors in my linen tea towels and use those first. It's a nice little touch of color. I love linen tea towels. It's pretty much all I have in my kitchen, and if you're interested, I do sell them at my tidbitsandco.com shop, which you can find linked below if you'd also like to grab some linen tea towels. That pretty much wraps up the kitchen space. It is functioning and looking great, and I'm just so excited to bake more and be in the kitchen more, creating those cozy foods that I really love for the fall season. Let me move you into our mudroom. Kept it really simple, but I love how just right away when we enter into the home, there is some fall touches. So on the bench, I just simply put a throw blanket and one of my leather pillow covers that I've had for years. I think it works great for fall. This is more of a space that tends to get dirty quickly, so I didn't want to be too high maintenance there with the linens. And then just on the dresser, I put a blanket, a linen blanket for like a runner, and then placed some more elderberries in my big copper pot. And I love how that looks. And then I just have this cute little basket that I thrifted and filled it with some white pumpkins, set another beautiful heirloom pumpkin out there, and I think that was just right for that space. I actually really tried to keep that dresser stocked with decor. Otherwise, everyone in the family will just pile whatever on there instead of putting it away like it needs to. So it helps if I kind of keep that pretty. But having this dresser in the mudroom is so useful, especially as the colder months come. That's where we're gonna keep all of our snow gear, snow pants and stuff. But in the summer, we keep our swim gear. So anyway, it's really nice to have these set of drawers in the mudroom, and I love to decorate it for the seasons as well. Now, just on the other side of the mudroom is my office, and I didn't really add fall touches in there, but I kind of wanted to share this hack with you and figured this would be a good time to do it. Now, I did add like some seasonal cards that I'd bought. There's this artist, and all of a sudden I can't remember her name, so if you want to know, check the description. But I love her work. Sometimes you just find art that you resonate with so much, and I love her adorable country scenes and seasonal displays. I just love it. So I actually bought some of her cards, and then I just hung them up on a string here in my office. I really love to look at them. I love the colors. I love that it just reminds me to enjoy the seasons. So that's the only thing I really did in the office besides a good clean, which it needed. But I wanted to share this hack. So I do have to spend 2 or 3 hours at the computer every day, or sometimes more, just because of my work. And my body really starts to hurt, and my neck and my head gets so much tension if I'm sitting for that long. So I really wanted a standing desk, but standing desks didn't really work into this design. And they're usually very big and bulky. And so my husband had the idea to just buy one of these foldable trays. And I did that, and this one is actually like adjustable in height, so I could get just the right height. And then I can place my monitor and keyboard up there really easily when I need to stand to work, and then just fold it and put it away when I want to sit. It's so nice, you guys. So if you also have to work a lot on the computer, this is a great solution to get you on your feet and keep the blood flowing. And I feel like 10,000 times better since I've made that change. So anyway, not fall decor, but it is what I did in the office this fall, and I've really enjoyed it. So hopefully that was a useful idea for you. Now, it is fun to bring in some fall touches into the bathroom spaces. If you've ever thought of doing that, it really is kind of fun to swap things out. And again, I do this mostly in the linens or with like flowers or just tiny little touches. So I just want to share these towels that I discovered with you because I really love them. I just got these gorgeous, gorgeous waffle bath towels and hand towels from Gilden. I love these waffle towels. I just love the texture, how they look. And this sage gray is a new color. It's like my favorite green of all time. A bit of sage with more gray undertones. It's just absolutely my favorite color, so I cannot wait to pull these out and put them in my bathroom. I wanted to show you what it looked like after it came out of the wash. It just kind of bubbles up and has this really pretty waffle texture. Love them. They are so soft. They dry really quick. And they're beautiful. What more could you want? I love how these sage green towels look hanging in my bathroom. It really is just enough for me. Usually we just have some creamy white or light brown towels in here, but it's really fun to bring in some green into the bathroom and just add a little bit of different color. If I was motivated, I'd probably switch out the art for more fall landscapes, but that's probably not gonna happen. But that is a good idea for you. If you wanna switch out any art, find some really cheap fall printable art online and swap out your art. That is a good idea. I usually do it, but it just hasn't happened this year. So anyway, that is all I did for the bathroom for now. I may add more as the time comes for my friends to come, but we'll see. We'll just enjoy this little touch of green in the bathroom. Now let me take you really quick into our primary bedroom. I did some bedding swaps, and some of you actually noticed this darker bedding and the striped sheets on one of my podcast episodes. So anyway, I wanted to tell you about it. I did this about early September, and I switched out this bedding when Brooklinen reached out to me and they wanted me to create an ad for them. So you didn't see it on the channel, but I got to do a little ad for them, which was fun. So I picked this dark blue indigo linen duvet cover and pillowcases, and I just really enjoy it for fall. It kind of makes the space a little more moody and just more vibrant. Really like it. And then I use their striped linen sheets. And you know I love linen, you guys. If you've been here with me, I love linen bedding with all of my heart. So I just thought this was so pretty for the warmer or colder seasons ahead. All right, let's wrap this tour up with the porch. It was really fun for me to decorate the porch for fall because if you follow along, you know we just finished up the porch and I've been like dying to just add some fall touches. So one fun thing that I did with all of the orange pumpkins is I just placed one at every post. And I just love that look of just a row of pumpkins as you're looking down the porch. Really fun, really festive, and really simple. And the rest of the decor on the porch is really simple too, because we really just mainly have a ton of pumpkins. So it's just kind of a pumpkin theme out here on the porch. And since we had the orange ones, I really like the color combo of orange and navy blue. So I did find 2 new navy blue throw blankets that I wanted to bring in here. One I grabbed from the vintage market. It's this wool plaid one, so cute. I placed it over on the porch swing with just a neutral pillow. Love, love, love how it looks, and the cats love cuddling up with it. So it just looks so pretty. And then I found another kind of navy blue gingham one that I put on our little glider with a little pillow there. So just really simple, effortless, but yet still so inviting. Over here on this cute little table that I found for 10 bucks on Facebook Marketplace, I just put another beautiful sage green heirloom pumpkin. I just love those so much, so I'm gonna use them anywhere I can. But then also some of these clippings that I hung to dry looked really pretty in this little hanging basket. And I found a couple of these accordion things at the vintage market, and so I thought it'd be fun to put it out on the porch and maybe hang wreaths there or swags. In this instance, I found this hanging basket that we had and just put some of the clippings in there. So really, really cute. And I just can't wait to bring out a cup of Creo brew or herbal tea and sit out here on this table and enjoy maybe the cooler mornings and evenings. But just feels super inviting to me. Now in the planters, I did the same thing that I did last year. I have these evergreen shrubs that will look green and beautiful all through winter. And so I just tucked some little mini white pumpkins inside of these, and then once those pumpkins are done, I will remove them and we'll probably place some pine cones or something Christmassy inside of these planters. But I just love doing that, having some greenery in here that will just transfer me all through to winter, and then we can plant it in the ground in the spring. It works great. Now I did swap out one piece of furniture that I had showed you in the porch reveal. I remembered we had this long rolling cart, and I've been using it for like markets when we have booths there, but this time I thought it'd be really fun to bring it on the porch and just fill it with all of our pumpkins. Number one, it's really useful for us to have kind of this table surface to bring in crops from the garden and things to prep them, but it was just the perfect way to just store all these pumpkins until we get to canning them or just to use as decor. So I brought out that rolling cart, love it out here, and I could see even in the summer using it for like drinks and snacks. And anyway, I think it's really fun out here. So I'll probably keep it for a while. Well, my friend, that pretty much wraps up our fall home tour this year. I hope you've enjoyed it. I have other fall home tours on the blog. If you go to tidbitsandcompany.com, you can see a home tours tab in my menu, and you can like cruise through and see our other homes or other previous years where I've decorated for fall and just see how I've done things differently. I really love that most of this fall decor is just gonna like go to the cows or the garbage or be put in the compost pile. And I don't have to store anything. I really think that is super nice and has kind of become my philosophy in decorating, to just really enjoy what nature provides and then let it go for the next season. So I hope that was inspiring and that you enjoyed touring with me today. Please go over and check out my blog posts for my fall home tours over on my blog, tidbitsandcompany.com. I really love photography. It's one of my favorite creative avenues, so I work really hard on getting really pretty photos that you can maybe pin for later, to be inspired for later, or save so that you can come back to. So definitely check that out, and then check my blog posts out for the resources for everything you saw today. And finally, if you love this idea of seasonal decorating or living more in the season, especially as a keeper of the home, I did a whole podcast on fall seasonal living, and I just shared tons of ideas, so many ideas that I didn't even apply myself, but just ideas for you to really embrace this time of year. There's just so much to enjoy about fall. So I hope you'll tune into that podcast and come away with even more ideas. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be back very soon to share more inspiration for the keeper of the home.